And it's just making that continued progress down the road. And it's not saying, okay, well, at the end, at fifth grade, everyone should be at the same place doing the same thing. We know that's not how students work. We know that's not how learning takes place. So with that, I will give it to the administration to give you a synopsis of what's in front of you. And Jody or Sean, or either one.
I'll go first. So mine is the color-coded one. So the two state assessments that we've just made in, Smarter Balance at grades 3, 4, and 5, measures English language arts and math. And then in grade 4, students take math science. So those scores are presented for you. The first column under math and ELA are the percentage of students that scored proficient or above at each grade level this year. And then the comparison from 16, 17, and 14, 15. And then the cohorts are color-coded. So, for example, in ELA, third grade in 14, 15, 50% of our students were proficient. Last year, 59% of our students were proficient or above. And then in fifth grade, last year, 96. So you can see that progression of the number or the percentage of students that are proficient or above has been increasing consistently, both in ELA and math. So we're very pleased with that progress. We're pleased with the fact that we are 20 plus points above the state average of the percentage of proficient students. So really happy with those results. Last year was the last year for the Smarter Balanced test. We will be moving to a new assessment that runs on the same kind of platform, so it will be very similar, but we'll see how it compares. Also, the science kneecap, 65% proficiency for our fourth graders on that. We've been consistently improving that. Last year it was 60, so we are getting better and still ahead of the state. It was also the last year for the kneecap science. Science will be rolled into the new assessment, and that will be given at fifth grade. Science will be just fifth grade next year. So I'm pleased with the progress that we've made. I'm pleased with that progression. I'm pleased with the fact that we're well ahead of the state average.
Thank you. Does the board have questions for Jody or Russ?
So I'm just curious, at the grade level, the amount of proficiency, are we seeing anything in the third and fourth grade levels that maybe our curriculum is differing from the test, or because fifth grade is so much more proficient?
No, we haven't seen that there are things on the test that's like, sometimes we do, especially for the higher functioning students who, they will come across stuff that's even in fifth grade that we haven't done for example. But no, we haven't seen that there's a disconnect between our curriculum and what's on the test. I personally think it's just the practice of testing skills and the stamina that it takes. For this particular assessment, there's a lot of comparing different texts and writing about it, and their expectation is some pretty proficient, extensive writing. So I think it's just the practice of taking the test and getting used to it. That's demonstrated as they go through.
And do you think the implementation of the keyboarding classes at a younger age is helping with this as well?
I think it has definitely helped. If you particularly at our third grade, where 2 years ago, there was only 50%, I think that it's really helped there to have that keyboarding. They are not touch typing even at fifth grade, but they're also not hunting for the T every time they have to type the words out. They have a better understanding of where things are on the keyboard, so I think that has helped.
Any further questions, guys?
No, it's amazing gaps on the plus side.
We'll move through the high school.
Similar to the elementary school, our middle school students all take the Smarter Balance for reading and math and the kneecap science. The one score which we weren't immensely pleased with was the 8th grade science. It's still higher than the state average for proficiency. It's a very difficult test, as you can see by the proficiency level. Very happy with the English, the kneecap science. And then if you look at the proficiency rates with all the grades in all the categories, we're double digits ahead of the state average. So pretty pleased with the results on that. We do look at, as a sixth grader, proficient, or you seventh grader proficient. We also look at one of the things that both the elementary and the middle high school see is some of our students aren't necessarily the same. So for instance, we might have 5 kids coming into the seventh grade, and depending if they were 4 or 1, that might throw off the proficiency from the previous year. But we see pretty consistent growth with the students. So again, double digits ahead of proficiency level in 6 of the 7 categories. SAT data, very pleased with the SATs. As we talked about, every student in the high school in the 11th grade takes it. The national average, and in a lot of states it's just college-ready students taking the SAT, was 992. The state average was 1036. The Sunapee average is 1140. So the average is well over 100 points over the state average and over the national average as well. So very pleased with the results.
Sean, can I get you to just explain that a little deeper because you hit on it? But so the state of New Hampshire, all 11th graders must take the SAT,
Correct.
right? Compared to nationally or other states where that isn't the norm.
Correct.
And so when you really talk about our state average being above a national average, that national average is really self-selected kids who are intending to go to college compared to all kids in New Hampshire. Just
Yes.
wanted to help with that distinction.
Yeah, it's really pretty impressive.
Yeah.
When you look at that. We really are expecting 100% of our students, or 99% of our students are expected to take the SAT. So very well prepared for that. I've also included our AP exam data, AP exams on the back side. And this, I included all the scores for all the students. Does everybody have that? Second page. I don't know how well it came on the bold, but what we do have is we do have some students who take some advanced placement courses that we don't offer that here. They do it online, so I gave that informational data as well. But if you look at the U.S. history is more than impressive. Again, the national average score is a 2.64. The state average is a 3. A lot of colleges will give credit for the AP exam. Our students average at 4.67 on the AP exam.
Who teaches that course?
Mr. Bailey.
The man in the back of the room.
Thank you, Mr. Palin.
If you look at our calculus AB, which is, if you look higher, that's the course we offer. You're going to see an average of a 5 on our calculus BC. That was one student who took it online. We did take our AB. But again, a 3.83 average compared to a 3.18 New Hampshire score average, and the national average score is a 2.91. All the scores are very strong, and if you go into our, we're a small school, and if you go into our AP courses, it's, if you go into Mr. Palin's or Miss Viano's or any of our AP, you're not going to see 2 kids in there. With a large number of students taking these courses. So I'm just very pleased with those courses, and I think it's a good example of students pushing themselves as well. I think there's a fair amount of students who are sometimes hesitant to take the course. It's a lot of work. I mean, Jackie, would you?
Yeah.
She's studying right now.
It's a lot of work. But the students, they push themselves. They do it. Sometimes they do it, and they find it to be a little bit too much for them. But they're doing very well. The teachers put a lot of effort in. The students put a lot of effort in. And very pleased with those scores as well. So on a number of fronts, I'm very happy with the assessment data. You can look at the SAT where everybody's taking it, the advanced placement data, which a high percentage of our students are taking it. Our Smarter Balance, all our students are taking it. So I really think all of our students in a variety of settings do quite well. Not that that's the only measure we want to use, but in that measure we are.
Thank you. Board have any questions?
Great results.
Yes, Brian.
So the sophomores take a practice SAT?
They take a PSAT.
PSAT, is my terminology wrong? Is it a practice SAT or is it, what's the point of taking it, I guess, if it's?
Yeah, it's preparatory. What's good to see is you're gonna see, where you are at that point, not that it's 100%, but you'll have an idea of where your SAT score probably would be, and it might give you some areas that you might want to work on.
Does it make any sense just to put them through the SAT, or is, and I
No, I
don't?
think the PSAT is appropriate. They do use it for national merit scholarships.
Okay. Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, amazing results.
All right, moving on with our agenda. Manifests. We got AP manifests and payroll manifests. So,
I make a motion to approve AP Manifest 2018-04 and 05, as well as payroll manifest 2018-06.
thank you, April. Motion made by April. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Brian or Jessica. Brian. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Now we're moving to the portion of our school board meeting, which is the public forum. 15-minute in aggregate, 3-minute per person at the microphone. It's, I don't need to describe it, because we just spent 35 minutes previously describing it. So if anybody would like to step up to the microphone and take 3 minutes and make some comments, please do.
John Olisine, I just want to offer some comments on the test scores. And my understanding is that the Sunapee student population has a different demographic profile than the state. For example, percentage of students who are English as second language, percentage of students who are on the free and reduced lunch program, or percentage of students that are non-white is their racial profile. So given that, if that is true, which I think is true, those groups, second language, English as a second language, free and reduced lunch, or non-white, typically test lower, just statistically, than students who are white, English as a first language, and not on a free and reduced lunch program. So while the results are very impressive, I'm not sure that it's really an apples-to-apples comparison. Compare the aggregate Sunapee student population with the aggregate state average population. It's almost like seems like people like to talk about athletics here. So you have a coach that inherited all volleyball players that were 6 feet tall or above, and then another coach who has all volleyball players that are up to 5 feet tall. Whether one coach is better or another is hard to judge, just because one has all tall players and one has tall players that aren't as tall. So what I would be curious to see is if the test data is sliced and diced in such a way that you could compare the Sunapee student demographic profile with a similar profile. For example, if the test data was sliced so that you take out students who are not English as a first language, or you take out students who are not coded as free and reduced lunch, or you take out students who are non-white, and just see what the discrepancies are there. Because I think that data is available, or it used to be in the past. Because I think that's more representative of an example, right? Because when Sunapee doesn't have a large percentage of the students who historically test low, and other districts do from other parts of the state, I don't think you're getting a true apples-to-apples comparison. So if the data does exist, you can slice it and dice it that way. I would encourage that somebody asks to see the comparisons of that, and then I think that's a more representative example of how well the program is doing here, as opposed to just how good the raw material is that's coming in that you're starting in.
Thank you, John. Oh, we're not going to do a Q&A. We can get back to you on that. This is the public comment portion. Thank you. Any movement to the microphone? Mr. Porter?
Ray Porter, coaching. Just want to thank you for bringing Attorney Sean Stevens tonight, and the whole board, and especially Paul. Comment on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Tanner, are you moving to the microphone, or are you moving away? With that, I'm going to close the public portion and ask for, we have no non-public, correct? Ask for adjournment.
How about some
Agenda items?
requests?
Agenda items. Thank you.
A couple things that I have, we're going to have a presentation on the trail project. I'll continue to work with BEHD, with Mr. O'Shaughnessy, and get you some feedback on that. And the other piece I wanted to, do we want to potentially go back and look at the field trip policy? And this isn't because of, but is it worth us going back and looking at that because of the frequency of the board meeting once a month, and sometimes faculty may come up with a trip that may not be getting here as in a timely
Right.
fashion? Maybe we could go back and look at that to see what those parameters are, and
Yeah.
maybe come up with
And
different
I also,
recommendations.
having been here a long time, and having had a number of kids go through, most of the field trips that we're approving are field trips that have, they're tried, they're true, they work. So yeah, I think that we should definitely look at that approval process. Thank you.
And that's-
Just on that,
Yeah.
real quick, I think one of the difficulties with the long-standing ones, with a little adjustment is, they're waiting for sometimes the final details, because it's the expectation of the way the policy reads, and I think with a little adjustment, they could, most of the information is probably working on it.
Is there any other items that individual board members want to add to
Budget
next?
binders need to go on. The budget binders will be passed.
Thank you.
And update on progress with the evaluation of the safety concern at the elementary school.
As soon as, we're waiting for the report back from, but hopefully we'll have it as soon as we do. We'll
Yeah,
bring that
I know
here.
that, but I'm just
Good.
bringing it back up, just.
We'll keep it fresh. Thank you, Jesse.
Anything else? Great. Kate, am I missing anything before adjournment? Wonderful. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Almost for sure.
Second.
Motion by April, seconded by Jesse. All those in favor? Aye. Meeting closed. Thank you. Thank you,
Just
audience.
have Jesse and Ed talk to Kelly for a minute while you sign your license.
That sound right?
Yeah.
She'll tell you what you're signing.
Sorry.